Hi, welcome to the Kevin Gregg Show. So glad to have you here. I am here in this video on this show today specifically to help you get your creative work done. Because you know what? I want you to be able to have the opportunity to be able to make your creative work, get it to market, and to be able to make a living for yourself. Um, because I think that that should be in line. Also, with creating stuff using God's talents and gifts that He's given you in order to help prosper the kingdom. So I'm so big on getting stuff done. The big thing that I want to talk to you about, and literally I just grabbed this camera and I just said, we're just going to record this. Um, there are some people in your life that are not going to want you to do that. As a matter of fact, they're probably going to stop you from trying to get your stuff done. There are some people that just want to watch the world burn. I guess that seems a little extreme. I think about the Joker from The Dark Knight, right? Heath Ledger's performance in that, which was so amazing. But there was something about that character. He was like an agent of chaos. I think I heard it described once. I don't know if Christopher Nolan had said this or not, but when that opening scene of The Dark Knight happens and the Joker is on that street corner just before that big bank heist is about to happen, I think he described it in an interview where he wanted it to feel as if Loki, the god of chaos, had just appeared on that street corner and was getting ready to go to work. Um, Guess what? There's going to be people that are in your life as you are moving forward and trying to get this stuff done. Um, they're going to be a little Loki-ish in your life. Um, it's a little challenging. And here's the hard part, right? Some of the people that you're actually uh, that this is going to happen with are going to be people that are in your circles. There's going to be people that are going to be in your circles, whether they're family or friends or work associates. And I guess the biggest challenge I want to tell you is as you're trying to get this creative work out into the world is to not get derailed by it. You have a calling, you have something that's been put on your heart and in your heart for a reason to move forward. And when you start moving in that direction, I truly do believe this that Satan is going to do anything and everything to try and throw stuff at you to get you off course. Stephen Pressfield in The War of Art describes that as the resistance. I define it for what it is, which is Satan, right? There is a resistance or Satan's work that comes up that goes, nope, don't want this to happen. Because the thing is that if it were to happen and if you were to be successful, and excuse me, not were, but when you are going to be successful, that doesn't help Satan at all, right? When we start just giving over and saying, all right, Lord, I'm going to keep pressing forward. I'm going to use this courage and keep going through any obstacle or adversity that comes my way. Um, that takes a heck of a lot of power away from Satan, right? When we start relying more and more on God, whew, look out, look out. Um, and here's the thing, when you start having that adversity that starts coming up, um, it's a sign that you're on the right track, but you got to make sure that you don't let it fully derail you. Um, I had a thing years ago when I first started one of my main website, which at the time was kevingregg.net. I still own that. So if you go to kevingregg.net, it refers back over to kevingregg.com. Um, but holy smokes, man. Years ago, when I was first starting this out and I was a professional actor and trying to use this as like, what is this? This is probably close to about 20, 25 years ago. And I'm trying to navigate this because it's brand new. And it's like kind of going, okay, it's more than just having an agent, having pictures. It's also about having some sort of a presence online. What does that look like? One of the things that I did back then was start a message board. Message boards were huge, like in the late 90s and early 2000s, where it's like, if you're going to start a community or start dialoguing with other people, you put up a community board, right? A message board where people can go back and forth on it. So I established one underneath my website at kevingregg.net. And I had somebody that I knew that was in my comedy circles that for some reason just decided, oh, hey, I'm going to go on there and I'm going to post some content which is rather questionable and uh not sexually suggestive, but it was definitely like, ooh, caused a whole bunch of people to go, what kind he, I won't go into the details on it, but it was basically he was pretending to be a sexual predator online. And kind of did it as sort of like a big, hey, I'm so great that we've got a community that's here at kevingregg.net where I can meet like-minded people. And, it sounded like he was doing some phishing stuff. If you read between the lines on the thing, you could tell it was very over the top and very caricature. But most of the people that were showing up at the community board didn't realize that. So it ended up just like scaring people away. And, again, you have those situations where you just go, "Oh, why'd you do that?" Right? Why'd you do that? And I think that there are people that exist that kind of want to just jump in, and you'll find it, especially nowadays, online social media, that people just want to come in and they just want to troll, right? And they do it under anonymity, where they'll come in, you post something, and all of a sudden you post something, and then somebody will come out of the blue and as an anonymous account comes in and just like drops a bomb. I describe it as like you're inviting people to come see a show, and it's like somebody, lights a Molotov cocktail and then throws it on stage just to see what the actors are going to do. And yeah. And there's also going to be people that like have really good intentions in your life as you're putting your stuff out there. And particularly is why I'm encouraging you to put yourself, hey, I'm encouraging to put this stuff online so you get Molotov cocktails. No, that's not what this is about. What this is about getting brave, even in the face of um, resistance or obstacles that come your way that might want to derail you or might want you to throw in the towel, because I've done it, right? Like when I take a look back at that message board that I was doing, I I threw in the towel, I just kind of went, "Oh, what's the point? If I do this again, only somebody else is going to come and knock it down." Well, guess what? Like maybe if I had taken the time back then and really focused on like, let's ignore that, let's keep pushing through, let's figure out how to navigate stuff like that so I can continue to build a community. Who knows what would happen? But now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, I need to be putting stuff that's out in the world, or you may be in the same place. Where do you need to be putting stuff out in the world? And guess what? There's going to be people that come out of the blue that are going to make comments or things like that that at first can cause sort of a reaction and kind of trigger you when it happens, and kind of go, oh, and your first reaction is to go, that's it. I'm not posting anything else again. Sometimes some of these people that will come out of the woodwork to post stuff that has nothing to do with your content or is completely unrelated to your content can be friends or family or extended family members, right? Like all of a sudden you can have like a crazy aunt or somebody like that that just goes, you know, oh yeah, this is nice, Sally, but I sure do remember when you were 17 and caused all that trouble at high school. Remember that, right? And you'll get these things that have nothing to do uh, nothing to do with your current work. Um, what do you do in those situations? The first thing that I can tell you to do is don't react. You can't control people. You can't control people, right? You can do a couple of things, which is you can try to a neutrally respond or figure out ways to neutrally uh, behavior extinction is one of the things that they use for behavior analysis, right? My son, who has autism, when he was as he was dealing with a lot of really crazy behavior issues when he was younger, we used to have these behavior therapists that would come in, and the big thing that they would work on is behavior extinction. The best thing to do with behavior extinction, it's almost like martial arts, where you're almost just like being neutral and just like redirecting, right? If somebody's coming in and throwing a bomb, in the comment section on something that you've posted, probably the first best thing you can do is just ignore it, right? Fire is only going to grow if you continue to add fuel to it. And the fact is, like, Sometimes when people are just posting stuff, it has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with them. And it's just like, well, I'm trying to say something in order to get attention. Well, the best thing you can do is number one, probably not respond to it. And if people that are following you see that you're not responding to it, more than likely they're not going to respond. And here's another thing that might happen. You might post something and somebody jumps into a thing, and you can't control it all with like bots or spamming accounts or anything like that. I've had situations before in the past, and I've discovered this with I'd Rather Be a Buffalo, which I work on with Doug Riggle, where there's times when we post some of our, Christian-based content that's out there, we get some pretty nasty atheists that love to jump on and start like posting our stuff. I have seen things where, there's been some pretty nasty um, agitated comments that get thrown our way, which I've, have neutrally just like, I'm just going to let it lie. And then next thing you know, like 10 or 15 other nasty atheists are jumping on, just going, yeah, what an idiot, brrr, letting that stuff build. Well, I've also come to the decision where I've got some control underneath some of my accounts where it's like, yeah, well, I can delete your comment or like delete it. If it's at a point where somebody is, I describe it as this, it's kind of like graffiti, right? It's almost like, hey, you know what? We got a free open space. Yes, free open space marketplace, totally get it. But when you start getting to a point where somebody's like actively being um actively sort of trying to destroy or disrupt or whatever, I think you got it right. I'm not big on the, oh, I'm going to report this person, whatever. But if you do have elements where you can either delete or block somebody that's causing some problems, then that's what you can do. The biggest thing with all of this is like learning. You are eventually going to have to get to a point where you're going to have to get tougher with with your stuff. There is always going to be criticism that comes towards your work. If everybody was liking your work all the time, my first instinct on that is somebody's lying, right? Somebody's not telling you the truth. Um, you just have to get to a point where you start letting these things go. Okay, that's just what you think. Great. I'm not your, I'm not for you. I'm not for you. That's all. And it's nothing personal, right? It's just like just letting that stuff go. And it's people just trying to like express themselves, whatever. They're trying to use your platform to be able to get their ideas out, but whatever. The biggest thing is about just not letting this stuff do it, right? The biggest thing that I just want to encourage you with that is even when you have people that are trying to crap on your work or trying to do stuff, the biggest thing is you just got to keep going. You have to keep showing up and putting out content and like going, all right, that's coming my way. How do I learn to like not hold on to that or to not let that stuff draw me away? Because really what it is when people are putting those type of negative comments or things like that, they're really looking for attention some way. And you need to ask yourself, where's my time best spent? Is my time best spent trying to chase down someone or to get revenge with somebody that I wouldn't want to spend 5 more minutes with, right? Or they already have an opinion that's solidified in them and they're making it very clear to me that they're not interested in having an open back and forth dialogue because I've had that happen before in the past too, where I've had people that have gone, okay, I feel like somebody maybe wants to get into a dialogue about my faith or other things I'm doing. Great, let's have that conversation, only to have the person immediately shut it down publicly again in the comments and then just double down on nastiness. And you never know what's going on the other end of a phone when somebody's posting. More than likely, somebody might be inebriated or something might be going on with themselves where they're dealing with their own pain and they're using you as a conduit to do it. And you need to ask yourself at that moment, is it worth me to chase this person down or to correct this person or to win in what this thing is? Or is it more worth my time to go, I'm letting you go because I got bigger things to work on and bigger things to help me with for myself and for my future. So that's the main stuff that I just wanted to cover in this episode. There are going to be people that are going to want to watch the world burn. right? And they're going to be active participants in it. And I guess, and sometimes they're going to show up and pop up in the comments of your work when you're doing it. And you have to make a decision for yourself. Okay. I got to keep moving on and keep doing my work, and I don't have time for the other stuff. And believe me, it takes a while. It takes a while, and it's going to take many experiences. And sometimes there are things that are said that are cruel and unfair and calumniation, right? That's what they say in some Catholic prayer, which is calumniation, is when somebody is like actively spreading false false information about you. It's false and it's rumors. But sometimes you have to ask for God's grace to help you navigate through that, because God knows the truth where all of it's concerned. So thank you for watching this. Please, if you like this, do me a favor. Could you please like and subscribe? That's the best way that you can help me. Particularly, you can also go over on my Instagram at Kevin M. Gregg and like and follow me there. That's where I've got a lot of like up-to-date information that's coming out, so I can share other stuff with you to help you get your work done and get it to market in or in line with what God wants for his kingdom. All right. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.